All right, so I wanted to send out some corrections for Lab 3. Each semester, I try to make updates to labs and instructions more clear. And this semester, I thought I could get away with something and it would work well, and it did not. And so we're going to fix it, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is practice a little bit with our Excel skills, and we'll see how to do that. Let me share the screen real quick. With your current data and the instructions I've given you, your lab might and your chart might look something like this, right? That's not what we're after. I'll zoom in real quick and we can check this out. Yeah, that's not a good looking, that's not what we're after. Let me just close this. Keep looking at this graph after we fix some numbers here. What I'm going to do is after in the latitude, I don't even care what the label is called, but in the latitude value, if it is in the southern hemisphere, I'm going to change this to a negative value. So I'm going to click up here in the equation toolbar and just hit the minus sign in front. Then I'm going to hit enter. And so you can do this as quickly as you need to. I just hit enter after I add it. If you double click, mine comes behind it. So I then have to click again and go in front, hit the minus sign and hit enter. All right, so it's much easier to go up to the formula bar, minus, enter. Oh, hold on a second. I only want, you got to pay attention. I only want the southern hemisphere ones. So, you know, mistakes are easy to make. We got to have attention to detail. Southern, here's a southern one. Minus, I'm going to put that in front, hit enter. Here's another southern one. Minus, I hit enter. We'll go on to the next one. And remember, these are just degrees from the equator. So if they're negative, that just means they're in the southern hemisphere. Okay. And now, wow, look at this. Look at my chart. It's gone crazy. And that's not at all what we're looking to do. It's really hard to identify a trend from this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select latitude, this column here, get the title and everything. And then I'm going to go to sort and filter like we've sorted before. And then I want to go largest to smallest. And I want to expand the selection. So now we have it in an order that makes sense. This is at the bottom of the Earth. And as we come up by latitude, we'll hit the equator somewhere in here, and then we'll continue to go up onto the northern hemisphere. We're around here somewhere in Eta. Okay, now we can see a graph, and we actually see some trends here. We can see some trending, but for the sake of those that cannot see through the through this lines and come up with something that you can see, let's go ahead and do one step further. And I decided to add this because it's not very complicated, and it may help you in seeing what I'm actually trying to get you to see. So let's click on the graph somewhere, and then we go to chart tools. And we want to go to design, and let's add a chart element. And we're going to go down and add a trend line. Let's just do a linear, and let's add it for each one. So we have to do it 4 times. I'm going to select March, and now it's going to start adding these. I can go back to add an element, a trend line, linear, June. Good. Add a chart element, trend line, linear, September. Okay. Add a chart element, trend line, linear, December. Okay, now we've got those there, and let's zoom in and look at our chart. Sorry about this. I could just select this, select it here, and I can do, well, let's just leave this here for the sake of our time right now. I keep zooming to the area next to it. But there we go. So we can kind of see that a little bit better. What do we see? Well, we see it all kind of crossing. Everything kind of crosses around 0 at the equator. These two, the gray and the blue, are almost parallel, and the yellow and the red are almost not quite perpendicular, but they definitely cross. and we can see as a general trend what's happening. Okay, so if this is energy and this is latitude, you can now find out that relationship. And so note that we don't have every single measurement exactly the same. There are some things that impact our measurements that don't have to do only with latitude. But for the most part here, this matches that trend pretty well. And this also is going to help with some of our variation in our data collection. So if you don't have everyone exactly right, you can still see this general trend. And so I want you to answer your questions based off the trend lines, and that will help you interpret this. If you need to get rid of like the color of these lines, excuse me, we can go up and we should be able to change this color. Actually, if I double click on it, I should have an option. I can go to color and I can just tell it I don't want that line. Well, I want to undo. I don't want to select the whole thing. There we go. Got all of them selected. Let's turn that line off. Select all the red ones. Turn that one off. And turn this line off, and then select blue or March and turn that off. Okay, and now all I have to look at is the trend lines, and it's much easier to see now. Okay, so that's an option that you can do if everything was confusing you and too much information, right? Okay, hopefully that helps. Give it a try, please. And if you need help, please let me know.